Hey, welcome to the Morning Mix podcast. This morning we learned that many of you have had public speaking meltdowns.
Yeah, Willy Wonka, the next movie, Wonka's going to come out, and I heard his dad runs a penis factory.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great factory. Great factory. Pretty hard to get in there, though. But hey, what can you do? We also learned that you've gotten a lot of stuff stuck in your body. But boy, this is a real full circle show.
Yeah.
Not a lot of the things came from the penis factory, but you never know.
Yeah.
That and much more right now on the Morning Mix podcast. A expert revealed there are the three phrases people are using too often. He says that they're rude. It is what it is, which we all kind of agreed. People tend to say that about themselves, not about other people. If they're saying about other people, they're already an a-hole. So here's the thing. Now that's one where you feel like, okay, you're about to tell me the thing. So here's the thing. And do you want to, when you ask someone to do something for you that's belittling? Like, hey, do you want to go clean my toilet? Thanks. What? Well, who's saying that?
Yeah, that's pretty
specific.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what's the phrase that you're using way too often? 312, sucks to be you. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
847, that's fascinating.
Because it can't be said in a way that's not sarcastic.
There's no way that's fascinating at all.
Fascinating.
Yeah. 773, living the dream. Yeah, that's a popular one.
That's run its course, though.
Agreed. 847 and many others threw this one at us. With that being said, that's true. Yeah. 219, bears suck. Yeah, using that one too often.
I don't think it's going away, though.
847, another one that's burnt out. Faux shizzle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
815, classic. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, let's remember that.
Right.
All right.
I think that's just a reason for someone to say, like, this thing that you thought would be done by now isn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's circle back when I'm done with it.
Exactly.
Circle back.
Exactly.
224 with another winner. Man, get a load of this guy.
You say that a lot, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. 773, hey, don't be sorry. Be respectful. Okay?
I don't
Wow.
You might teach fifth grade.
I
That
just got
sounds like a
yelled at.
fifth
Never
grade.
heard that
You know what I
one.
mean? I might hang on to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bust that out in the meeting today.
Right.
847. Who's to say? I mean, okay. 331, the phrase you're using too often. Sorry.
That's it?
Yeah. It's kind of nice. 712, I really hate small talk. So my filler phrase is I can't imagine. Or I can only imagine.
You know when someone's going on and on about something, you're like, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, right.
No connection to anything you're saying.
What? 815, the phrase I use too often. Party on, Wayne.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yeah, party on, Garth.
My
All right.
buddy Keith has one where, like, if it's late and we've been out having a good time and he steps in it and says something wrong or, vomits in the bushes to puke and rally, he'll be like, oh, man, sorry for partying, Like, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah. Somebody sent one that's just 3 words we can't even get close to on the air, so I thank you for that. That's kind of nice.
I love you.
847, the phrase we're overusing, that's what he or she said. Yeah,
Oh,
happens too often.
Right.
708, when in doubt, whip it out. Yeah, you
Whoa.
might want to remove that one from the old repertoire. 815, grow up.
Man.
219, YOLO. Yeah, YOLO burned bright and fast, didn't
Yeah.
it?
It did.
You only live once. 847, the phrase I'm using too often. I said no.
Yeah.
Often to my 3-year-old.
Right.
Yeah, I get that one. 708, phrase I'm using too much. Your dad wants you. All right.
It's his problem.
It's his problem now.
Yes.
My dad that was his go-to phrase. Oh, why don't you go ask your mother?
Yes.
And then you'd come back. Mom said I have to ask you. And then he would just be like, why am I here? Ugh. 630 on the bright side. Phrase you're using too often.
Okay.
That's so fetch, says the 708.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. 100%. 630. Yep. 773, the phrase I'm using too often, Michigan cheats.
Oh, Nikki
there?
texting
Watch
in.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texting in.
No, watch out. Let's see. 630, boy, it's a good thing you're paid by the hour.
Oh,
Phrase you're using too often. Ouch.
have you seen a Bless Their Heart yet? That's
Not
always
yet,
a good
that's-
one.
Oh, my God, it just popped in. 224. Bless your heart.
That one, and then you shred whoever
Yeah.
you're talking about
Oh,
right
boy.
immediately
That's it.
after.
Well, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless their heart, bud.
We don't
That's-
expect anything more out of this idiot. Bless
Literally.
Bless his heart.
That's the Southern way of saying you're dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless
Oh,
their
thanks.
heart.
Gee whiz. Don't be sorry, be better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy duty. 773. Oh, yeah. Well, here's the kicker.
Yeah.
I do like a here's the kicker.
Wait, if it's a good kicker,
If it's a
I'm
good
all
kicker,
in.
right. If it's not a kicker,
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
But if you use it all the time, it's
Right.
like you can't have that
Yeah.
many good kickers.
finally, what is the phrase that you're using way too often from a 630? It'd be like that sometimes.
Oh, I love that song.
It's a good one.
It
It's
had
a song?
Yeah.
Oh.
Be like that. It was on TikTok. We played it here a couple times. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, it really do be like that sometimes. You
It's
gotta be
really
careful out there.
good. It's chill.
Who knew?
Look it up.
From Chicago to your device, this is the Morning Mix Podcast.
The Morning Mix with a new one from Hootie and the Blow. All right. Oh, no. That happened to Nikki live on the air. On a stress scale, they say that the number one most stressful activity for everyday folks is speaking in public. That hits a 7.4 out of 10 on stress levels. 7.4 out of 10. Long commute sits at 5. Number one, speaking in public. So have you had that speaking in public meltdown? Everything was going all right, and then it was, oh, no. Hi, Amy. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Love you guys.
Oh, we love you right back. You were speaking at the high school graduation?
Yes, I was at my high school graduation, and I was giving the prayer. So
great.
I got up in front of all of the people and all of the parents, and I had one job to do before that, and that was to politely touch my cap to remind everyone to take their caps off. So I got up there and started right into the prayer. And then I realized, because a few people had started to kind of trickle their hats off, that I had forgotten to touch my cap and just said, O-F.
Oh, no!
Yes. Oh, yes.
Into the microphone in the middle of a prayer.
In front of my entire high school, all of their parents, grandparents, and cousins.
In the name of the
It was
Son,
bad.
Holy Spirit. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. That's a lot.
What
Wow.
was the aftermath? I mean, did you just run off? Or?
Did you get struck by lightning?
I just stopped. I composed myself, and I started again, because what are you going to do?
But did they say anything?
Oh, yes.
Man. Yeah. But you were graduating, so what
Yeah.
are they going to do? You're like, peace out.
Peace out. Okay,
I
Amy.
meant to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Amy, stay right there. Don't hang up, Amy. Don't hang up. Okay. Hey, Allison. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing really well. Now, this involved Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on stage?
No.
Okay.
No. My Lord, I couldn't handle that. No. It was something I do every day, so that's kind of like Nikki, you do it every day, but sometimes we have some issues. But I was reading out loud Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Okay.
and talking about Veruca Salt's dad and how he owned the peanut factory.
Mm-hmm.
To my third graders, I said that he owned a penis factory.
Yeah, different factory.
And yes, the worst part was I made the mistake of telling my coworkers at lunch,
Oh, no.
and by the end of the day, I had several emails of orders for different penises.
For different factories where they're made?
Yeah.
I love it.
I ended up, I didn't get any parent calls or emails, which is shocking.
Oh, good.
However, I did bribe the children with some class cash for our class economy in hopes that maybe they would,
Yeah.
little hush money might work.
This is the way the world works.
It's
This
gotta be what
lesson
it
was
is.
actually
Yeah,
just
yeah.
ahead of your time
Boy.
for third grade.
They're
but-
too young, but I really hope
Yeah.
one of the kids would have turned around and been like, great, we can spend this at the penis factory. Just
Yeah.
really double down. Oh, man. Poor Allison. She's reading to the kids, and, hey, yeah, his dad owns a penis factory. Oh. And now you're in it. This is great. Hey, Karen. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Okay.
Okay, good.
The anxiety is
it's
already
coming
there.
back.
Okay, we're here
Nick-
for you, Karen. We got
Nikki,
it.
I feel for you. I feel for you big time. I used to sell Party Light, and you are in the person's home. I was actually doing it for this person's church group. Her last name is Bonner. And I said, hello, and thank you, Mrs. Boner, for having me.
Were you corrected right away, or did you just let that roll?
I literally just let it roll, and I said, and that was the beginning of my speech, and I was there the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, I had my head down a lot.
And you're just the whole time you're like, just say, don't say boner.
Don't say
Just
boner
Please
again.
don't say boner.
Exactly.
Don't say boner.
You got it.
Yep.
Came
Yeah.
out.
It came out. What can you
There
do?
was.
That's hard, you know? What are you going to do? Or Mrs. Boner there. Okay. Hey, Christina.
Hi, good morning.
This was a presentation at work. Is that right?
Yeah, so this was for the McHenry County Board,
Okay.
and I was working for the health department, and I had to give a presentation. And instead of saying public, I said pubic, and it was written as pubic on my presentation as well. And
Yeah.
You had actually pre-made the error.
yeah.
Had you typed it up, or did someone else? Could you blame someone else for that typo?
No, it was me.
Oh, okay. Well,
Guys, all please look at the pubic. Oh, God.
Had pubes on the brain.
Yeah, what can you do?
You're listening to the Morning Mix podcast.
Earlier this morning, Whip shared a story with us. Local man.
yeah.
Scott Millicent. He's down in Fort Myers, Florida on vacation or something like that. And
Somewhere in Florida, yeah.
strolling around with his family, and he's like, hey, stone crab. Oh, a contest. I should go in there and eat that. And then the man breaks a world record.
Wow.
So on a flyer, we just said, anybody know Scott? He's from the area.
Yeah.
We learned he has a wife named Allison, and then suddenly the sleuths are into it, and randomly we get a text. Hey, this is Scott Millicent. My friends say that I should listen to the mix because you guys want to talk to me about me winning a crab eating contest.
That's it.
I said, you bet your ass we do. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Sun is shining. It's about 80 degrees down here.
Wow, so
Oh,
you're
in
in Florida
Florida
right
down
now.
there,
Okay,
okay.
so you guys are still down in Florida. Are you there on vacation? Do you spend extended time in Florida?
Yeah, so we do like a birthday trip for our friends and our November birthdays. So we take a little adults-only trip.
Nice.
So we're down here in Marathon, Florida.
Now, do we have it right that your wife's name is Allison and she teaches in Hampshire?
Yeah, Hampshire High School.
Yeah, man, the
Yeah.
sleuths are out. We
Yeah.
got the internet detectives on your side here. So if you wouldn't
yeah.
mind walking us through this. So Whip just grabbed the story. It popped up on our feeds here that a local man
Yeah.
ate a bunch of stone crab, and that local man is you. Is that correct?
It is, yeah.
You sound
Yeah,
like you're still
so,
digesting the stone crab.
I wouldn't doubt that you
actually,
are.
Yeah, it was not bad. It sat well with me. It didn't give me any issues at all. So that was good.
All right, my man's regular. I like
Now,
it.
did you have to? Was this something you thought about doing, or was this like you're walking down?
No.
You're like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Because did you have to pay to do it as well? Like, is there a fee?
Yeah. So we were there for dinner the night before, and one of my buddies was like, "Oh, they're having a stone crab eating contest tomorrow. We're coming back. We're signing you up." And I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So, we had to get there. We did. We sat through, the different heats, and then it was my turn, and I went up against the reigning champ that won it last year. So I was feeling the pressure. But then again, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing or what I was getting myself into. And then the next thing I know, I had literally cleared the 25 claws that were in front of me down to, just bare shells. And they're like, put your hands up. I put my hands up. They're like, we have a photo finish, Wow. And I ended up coming in with a better time. I had one 30-second penalty. The guy, the current champ, he had two penalties. So, I beat him out by I beat his old record by 7 seconds.
Now, how do you get a penalty for 30 seconds? Did you spit on him or kick him under the table?
Holding.
No, I left a knuckle, a little bit of a knuckle of crab meat still on my tray.
Oh,
Dang, that's a 30-second violation?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
you had one 30-second violation. He had two 30-second violations.
Yeah.
And you ended up beating
Yeah.
him by 7 seconds, as you say? Or 37 seconds?
His old record from last year.
Wow.
Because his record was a new record that he had set last year. So
Got it.
I was going into this just as a fun thing to entertain my friends, and then I did not expect this to
That's crazy.
God.
So
blow up on me.
did you have any tools, or was it no
Yeah.
tools involved? Did you have a little hammer, a little nutcracker,
So
or
I
what?
did, yeah. So we went out to the Home Depot and got me this mallet. And they're like, "Oh, you need your own tools," and I'm like, "Oh my god." I've had stone crab, but I've never had to crack them myself.
Right.
It's a very
Oh.
dense,
Yeah.
shell. So they did have like a cracker that they supplied at everybody's station. So I went through
Okay.
a couple round cracks with my hammer, and then I'm like, "Oh, screw this!" I went right to the crusher, and then
Wow.
The big metal thing, it kind of slams down on him, right? Was it like that? Was
Yep.
it that one? Okay.
Yep.
So, do you feel like
Yeah.
the tool, though, if somebody had gone out and gotten a cinder block, would
Yeah,
that
right.
give
Would
you
that
an
help?
advantage? You use whatever you want?
You could use whatever you want. I think, the more creative, the better. But obviously, some of those contestants, you take home whatever you don't finish, and you don't want to destroy the crab to where you cannot eat it.
Yeah, you got to have the leftovers.
Wait a minute. You take home what you don't finish? This is the greatest contest ever.
Right. And I felt bad because the group that I had, we had nothing left to bring back.
Yeah, no. I felt bad for rocking this thing.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Scott, let me ask you a couple of number questions real quick. What is the entry fee? How much did you pay to enter the contest?
It was a $50 fee. Yep.
Okay, great.
That buys like 2 claws.
Right. And you ate 25 claws?
Yeah, 25.
And what was your final time officially?
3 pounds. It was 10 minutes, 17 seconds.
Okay, so Scott, here's what we'd like to do. If you'd be willing, we would like to invite you here to 101.9 The Mix on a date that we can all agree upon, hopefully before, I don't know, Thanksgiving maybe, if that's too tight. Christmas, great. We'd like to have you in here. We'd like to you're welcome to invite friends, family, coworkers, people you don't like, whoever. We'll get some fans in the stands in here. We're going to set up a folding table. Okay. We will figure out the stone crab part of it. We'll get some restaurant nearby or like Long John Silver's or somebody. We'll get the stone crab. And then we want to see, because honestly, when we read your story this morning, a few people in the room, and I want to be clear with you, not me, but a couple other people in the room said, I think I could take this guy. And so what we'd like to do is find out, would you be willing to come down and to try to honor your record?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as long as I get to bring my whole entourage of supporting cast and characters
and your own
that
hammer
are with me here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how many guys are there with you?
So there's four couples all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got plenty of room.
It's going to be nice. Now, they're all welcome. We don't mind that. We'll set up a table. We'll get the stone crab.
Okay.
Now, I will ask, you're going to have to show us a thing or two at the top so we kind of know what to expect. And then we're going to let this thing rip. We'll do it live on the air. We'll go live on Facebook and YouTube and all that. And we'll let the world watch a world champ take down 4 idiots. It'll be great.
Yeah.
So, Scott, stay on the line. We're going to get your information. Our producer, Swanee, will get your information. We'll get in touch. We're going to get this organized. This is going to happen. We got to make this happen.
I'm bringing a cinder block. You guys can't use it.
Love it. Yeah, I'm just going to bring like some of my kids' toys or something, or I'll use the stapler that's in here.
Violetta, we should start expensing some lunches to practice.
No practice!
Yeah. Practice.
Yep.
Scott, thank you so much for taking some time out of your vacation to chat with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a good time.
Did you have more fun than eating the stone crab, though? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like this trip has just been, it's been kind of surreal. Like I said, I just was going into this as a good time lunch, to get a meal, and ended up into this. So,
sorry, one last question. What did you walk away with? So you won the contest, you got the world record.
I got like a plaque, first place plaque. I got a 2-night stay to a resort. I got a bunch of other free passes to some attractions and some shirts, bunch of merch. So
wow,
and a full belly.
And then I got to come back and defend my title next year.
Yeah, of course. Oh, it's got to be an annual. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe that'll be our next big Mix live broadcast. We'll fly a bunch of people down to Marathon, Florida to watch you perform live.
Hey, there you go. I'd be happy to take that.
Well, congratulations, Scott, and we will see you soon. Stay on the line. We'll get all of your information. Don't let the fame go to your head. There he is, the stone crab eating champ. This is going to be fun.
You're listening to the Morning Mix podcast.
Getting things stuck in the body is the 9th leading cause of unintentional injury. Now, the clinical professor of medicine at NYU says, well, more than half of those stuck-in-yas are from intimate activities.
Sure.
And as Whit pointed out, 90% of those, no, man, it was an accident.
Yes.
I don't know how I slipped and it landed in there. It was really weird. But anyway, if you guys could pop it out.
Who
I
don't
don't even
know where this came from.
You're lucky I got these pants back on. I don't know what to do now. I had to sit backwards in the car on the way here. But anyway, other parts of your body where things get stuck, ears like cufflinks, plastic swords, rocks, lollipops. Liquid in the ear includes shoe glue. Somebody thought they were eardrops. It was shoe glue.
Wow.
Pieces of ice cream cone as well.
Huh.
In your nose, we've got gum wrappers, a used match, No, it smells. Oh, God. It smells really good. Can I get a. Oh, no. You had magnets, rice, popcorn kernels, glue. People swallowed unintentional objects like small flashlights, pet toys, coins, office supplies, cigarettes, foil. What got stuck in you? Hi, Colleen. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. How are all of you?
Oh, we're doing great. Now, this wasn't you. This was your rock star husband. Is that right? What happened?
Yeah. So we were getting ready to close on a house. My husband was very stressed out. We were at his parents' house. His parents made bacon wrapped steaks. He swallowed an entire toothpick whole, like the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was on Monday. So on Tuesday, we go to close the house. Like, we're getting ready to go. I'm at work. He's at work. He calls me and says, I'm bleeding. And I said, you got to be a little more specific. And he's like, from there. And it took me a minute. I went, okay, go to the doctor. I said, no, go to the ER. So we managed. I go to closing. I close without him. His mother calls me and says, he swallowed a toothpick. It's not cancer. I'm like, okay. I'm not going to die with 4 kids in 2 houses because we still own another house.
Oh, geez,
the best
that's a
part
lot.
is he's going to the bathroom, and this little old nurse is trying to help him get to the bathroom, and she says, your mother showed up. I didn't tell her what was going on. He's like, I'm married to a woman. We don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. That's not what it's like. We actually have audio of him in the toilet. All right, so he swallowed a toothpick, and boy, it lacerated a few things on the way through.
That'll happen.
Hey, Christine, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
We're doing all right. We love Bam Bam, but we're talking about pebbles here. What got up your nose?
When I was 5, me and a couple friends thought it would be fun to stick pebbles up our nose, close the other nostril, and see how far we could shoot it. And
Who among us?
I pushed it up too far, and my sisters were watching me and were very upset they were going to get in trouble because they weren't watching me closely. So finally, at the end of the day, they took me to a neighbor who was a nurse who got it out for me.
Wow, just with like tweezers, just reached up there and yanked it out?
Yeah, after trying to blow it out for quite a long time, that didn't work.
You blow up the other
I had to go
nostril?
up in there. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so the old pebble in the schnoz happened to Christine. Okay. Hey, Ken, how are you?
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
We're doing well. It was not a pebble. What got stuck up your nose?
It was the little black wheel of a Hot Wheel car. So I was 6 and my sister was 9, and we were playing with the cars, and I guess she got bored with the normal and typical operation of how you play with Hot Wheels on a track. So she pulls the wheel off the car and says, you know, this is about the same size as your nostril. I think this would fit in your nose. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. Let's try it. And so the Hot wheel goes up the nose, and it went up too far, and then we couldn't get it out. And then my mom later had to work very hard to get it out with a tweezers.
Oh, man.
And then big sister's like, I don't know why he did that. Ken, it was Ken's idea.
Yeah,
I told him not to.
I didn't say it. He had the sniffles. I just said, okay, what am I going to do? Hey, Mitch, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm very well, very confused at what I see on the screen here. What got stuck where?
So I was about 7 years old, and I was petting a dog with a bunch of friends, and it jumped up and bit me in the face. So I ran home, and they took me to the hospital, and they cleaned it all up. It bit me like right by the eye, the top of the nose, and they stitched it up, and I went back to school, and about 2 weeks later, it started getting infected. So I went back to the hospital. They took an x-ray, and the tooth of the dog broke off in my nose.
Holy cow. That'll show them.
Oh.
I don't think we're going to get much crazier than the tooth of a dog up in your nose. So then what did they have to, were they able to just pull it out through your nostril?
No, they went in through where the dog bit me and pulled it out.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I'm going to throw up.
That's crazy. Do you still have it, the tooth?
I do.
Yeah. Do you wear it around like a necklace?
No, not like a shark's tooth. No, I'm sorry. I don't do that.
can't believe we still have it.
That's fantastic.
You're listening to the Morning Mix podcast.
These are the 6 ways to officially be swoon-worthy. Now, Whip, you're an expert at being swoon-worthy.
Yeah,
I mean, I
let's
see it
go.
every day.
Worthy of the swoon, indeed.
I got to go to Lost and Found to see if they have my breath because this man took it away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and at
absolutely.
number 6, you want to be swoon-worthy, have patience.
Oh, yes.
It's attractive when you take your time to get to know somebody instead of just diving in. It makes you a catch because you know that they're the right fit for you because you've taken the time, man. You've put in the time. There's no hitting and quitting. Not here.
Okay.
You got to be patient. Mm-hmm.
Move on.
Yep.
In at number 5, have strong beliefs and opinions. Strong beliefs and convictions are attractive when you communicate them in a respectful way, and then you hold yourself to those high standards. You know what they say.
What?
If you're dating somebody that has strong beliefs and opinions, raise your glass. And if you're not, raise your standards. In at number 4.
Was that yours?
My buddy used to say that one.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know
he
that
say
was
for
on
other
the
things.
actual list.
No,
Okay.
no. It could be nice.
All right.
For example, your wife could say, hey, if you're married to Whip, raise your glass. And if you're not, raise your standards. You could fill in anything you want.
I like it.
It's kind of nice, right?
Yes.
In at number 4, be confident but not cocky.
That's a key.
People don't want cocky. There's a why. They're making sure. They want confidence. It's nice to know that you're not obsessed with your looks. Many people are attracted to someone that carries themselves with class and dignity. Even if you know you're hot and your vibe should be a lot more than what you're putting out there. What makes someone really attractive goes much deeper than the physical.
True.
Number 3, you want to be swoon-worthy? Have passion. When you talk about your passions, don't let them dominate the conversation, but just talk about them. What fires you up? Well, do it when it makes sense. Don't just try to steer the conversation towards those things.
Yeah.
Have I told you about my sailboat?
Oh, yeah.
I sail regularly
good.
on a boat that I have that is a sailboat. Did I tell you about it?
Do you own a boat?
It's a boat that I have that
Oh, wow.
sails.
That's nice.
And it's called a sailboat, and I sail the boat, and I have it.
So do you want the shrimp cocktail or not?
Well, it's funny you should bring that up because we were on the boat just the other day. In at number 2, have leadership skills. If you want to be swoon-worthy, leadership skills mean that you're decisive, but you're not controlling. You can share what you like and what you don't like. It's something most people are going to be attracted to. You're not afraid to plan things for that person, but you also allow them the time and the opportunity to get to know you and make some own decisions of their own. Mm-hmm. And finally, in at number 1, how do you want to be swoon-worthy? You got to have a busy life. Now, not too busy for a relationship, but you got priorities, and you have other things you like to do outside of the relationship. You're not just putting all your eggs in one person's basket.
Yeah. I have to have stuff going on.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, I can't make it that night. I'm going to be on my boat. I don't know if I told you.
That's right.
I have a sailboat.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Sound check. Sound check. This is Nikki's sound check on the Morning Mix.
We're going to start, middle, and end it with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So typically they do this thing, and then it takes 3 months, and they edit it, and you kind of hear everything about it already.
That's what we thought.
And then it gets on TV, and you're like, okay, cool. I've been hearing about this for 3 months. But this was live. I got Disney Plus streaming. It's available right now on Disney Plus. You can watch it. I watched it last night. A lot of big moments happened, including one we talked about earlier with Olivia Rodrigo. So she showed up and sang with Sheryl Crow. And by the way, Sheryl Crow, holy crap. So good. Everyone sounds so good. It's really kind of crazy.
Whip played All I Want to Do on Friday in her honor for his Flashback Friday, and then launched us into a whole groove.
We were celebrating the joy that is Sheryl Crow on Friday while you were enjoying your wine in Napa Valley.
Well, cheers to that. Thank you. But so take a listen to this. Olivia hopped on, Stevie Nicks was on stage, Peter Frampton, all with Sheryl Crow, and it just sounded so great. But the whole show, if you have not checked it out, it's great. A couple other highlights from it. New Edition. Yes, New Edition. Belle Biv DeVoe, Bobby Brown, New Edition.
All of them.
Together for the Spinners. That was crazy. Willie Nelson performed, and Dave Matthews.
With Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, no. So Dave Matthews inducted Willie Nelson, and this is the first time Dave Matthews was so nervous. I mean, you got to watch. He was stumbling. He kept saying, "I'm so nervous." Even at one point, Dan Joel said next to me, he's like, "Dude, Dave needs to smoke a joint or something."
Yeah, maybe he was.
Like,
I think he had thought of that. It must have been really nervous.
He was really nervous. Yeah.
Willie Nelson said, "You want some of this?"
He's like, he's got it in his headband.
Just go stand next to him. Them there.
So
All right.
they performed 90 years old. Willie Nelson performed, and that was really magical to see. Queen Latifah introducing Missy Elliott, first female rapper. So that was awesome to be inducted. Ice Cube inducted at Rage Against the Machine, which, by the way, in typical Rage Against the Machine style, didn't really come. But Tom Morello, Zion, I believe he's from Zion.
That's Libertyville, or maybe Zion. You know, one of those.
He's I couldn't remember. Yeah, he was the one who showed up and kind of gave the whole speech and explained like, hey, sorry you're bummed if they're not here, but go make your own music and be the next Rage, and come on up.
And then you can not show up.
He could be a politician. Yeah, it was pretty good.
He does not get nervous speaking.
No, he was so good.
Dave Matthews, now that you think about it, I don't feel like he's done very many speeches.
No.
I'm trying to think. Like, I know he does interviews and whatever, but he always seems like he's really soft-spoken and almost like bored to be there.
That is exactly what my husband said.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I've ever heard him talk.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like when you hear him talk in concert, and we've joked about it, but he's got the guitar between you and that, and maybe he feels safer, but then he'll just be like,
he like mumbles.
It's Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I think we hit on something there.
You should definitely check it out for that. They also honored George Michael. That was very cool. Went through his whole catalog. And your girl whip, the Shaka Khan thing.
I love Shaka Khan.
Love
Shaka Khan.
She came out and sang Sia. Had a really obnoxious hairpiece on to where she couldn't see through it.
Oh, good.
And poor Shaka's like holding Sia. And I'm like, they're honoring you, and you're holding up Sia because she can't see through her hair.
Yeah.
But
Shaka Khan recently on a podcast went through all these top singers that they mentioned, and then she ripped into almost every one of them. But I don't think Sia was on the list, so she's still good.
So she was allowed on. Yeah, so that was very cool. And then another fun surprise, Big Boy of Outkast. So, I Like the Way You Move, singer Big Boy, rapper. He introduced Kate Bush and talked about what an influence and what a fan of Kate Bush he's been his whole life and how they've hung out together.
No way.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I know you probably think this is weird, but this is the deal. We both make awesome art. I love her art. She breaks the rules. I break the rules, and so it was a really cool story. Now she was not there to accept it. But St. Vincent came out and did a whole performance of this song, and it sounded great.
The Morning Mix Flash Briefing with Violetta.
Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker welcomed their first baby together. The couple has not officially announced the baby boy's name, but Travis did mention last week that they were planning on naming him Rocky 13, which combines the name of a guitarist and, he says, the greatest number of all time.
Wow.
Oh.
Is ASAP Rocky going to be upset?
I don't know.
How many Rocky movies have there been?
I think 13 is the next one.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I literally thought that's what he was doing.
I know. We'll
Hard
see
to
if
say.
that sticks and if Kourtney approves that. But apparently mom and baby are doing great, so congratulations to them. Next up, I know we're kind of sick of the Jada and Will Smith drama and news, but there is a trending clip of P. Diddy. So he's addressing apparently an age-old rumor that I was never aware of, but apparently everybody on the internet was, wondering if P. Diddy had drama with Will and Jada. I'm going to let them say it in the audio clip, but basically this is P. Diddy talking to Jimmy Kimmel as he was trying to promote his new album that's out about love. So then he shifts to this.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
This show has gotten crazier since the last time I
Interesting.
P. Diddy literally just denies all of it. He's like, did you really hear that? Is the internet really saying that? He apparently never heard that rumor.
Nobody had.
Yeah, I know. But I guess Jimmy Kimmel wanted to know, so he asked, and P. Diddy says no.
Yeah.
All right.
Good for them.
I don't know.
The whole story.
Yeah. It'd be great if he said yes. It'd be fascinating.
It would be.
To hear where that went. Because even if it happened, I think he would still say no unless there's some kind of plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Good for them.
Yeah. J-Lo's still with Ben Affleck currently.
Yeah.
So good for them as well.
Time change.
Next up, comedian Nate Bargatze just hosted SNL, and he was in town over the weekend. He performed 3 sold-out shows at the Chicago Theater. He was really, really funny, and he actually was on stage saying, I'm glad to be back in the city because he lived here for a while.
Oh, I know
so that was cool. And since he did live here for a while, he also worked here for a while. So from the Chicago Theater, he headed to Jake Melnick's, where he used to work.
Fun.
He was one of their first servers back in 2002, and he even used to perform some of his comedy shows in-house.
Great.
Yeah, it's just
That's
a
hilarious.
fun little circle. And he's like, I don't eat any of the hot wings there, but
Yeah, boy.
Right.
they get real hot with the ghost pepper challenge.
Sure do.
So that was all really interesting and fun in the city. So that's your flash briefing.
All right, thank you for joining us for the Morning Mix podcast. Make sure you rate, review, like, and follow this podcast. You can also follow us on social at 1019 Mix Chicago. And we will see you tomorrow on the Morning Mix.